What up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunslinger Gaming Frosty Pints podcast. I'm Gobi. With me tonight is DrNiggle, Masami, OmegaConstruct, The Eliteness, and Zero Burn 75. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Swell.
I always love the way in the intro how you really emphasize the in Frosty Pints.
Hey, it's because I give a fuck.
A fuck or a
That was my last one. That was my last fuck I gave.
He's all out. No more fucks to give.
Actually, yeah, with the intro and everything. Okay, so a thing happened a couple weeks ago. It just in passing, someone brought up another site or another adult gaming community, and I'm a curious person, so I went there and I checked out their site. And, it's a very pretty site and all the rest of that. But it also turns out that these people were doing podcasts, and they have a whole podcast page. So I went and I listened to their gaming podcasts. And their fucking topic matter, the people on there, everything about it was just so painfully boring. But the one thing that they did do that we do not do, they had audio flair. They had like a full-blown intro to their whole thing, and they had all this stuff, and we don't have that. We have Gobi very personably saying, "Welcome to the GS Frosty Pines podcast. With me tonight, blah 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 blah." And you used to say, "Sit back and enjoy the ride," but you don't do that anymore. I think we talked about this. I'm not a fan of you dropping that. But here's the thing.
My bad.
We need an intro, right? Of course we need this intro. So here's what we're gonna do. This is going. We're gonna have a new GS intro, and this is what it's gonna be. Welcome to the GS Frosty Pints podcast, featuring your host, Gobi42.
I was talking about Bruce Willis, and somehow it turned into Bruce Willis's ass.
The Eliteness.
He did kind of that one time when he was drinking talk about how he liked Osplay so much.
OmegaConstruct.
Steven Tyler's mouth is so iconic.
Masami.
Well, you need that hentai in, 4K.
DrNiggle. I ate too much spicy food last night and I farted blood this morning. And Zero Burn.
I've seen so much tentacle porn.
So sit back and jack in for the GS Frosty Pints podcast.
Oh my god.
That is the greatest thing I have ever heard in my life.
And then we just roll from there.
I don't think we can. I don't.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's golden.
That's
It stays.
fucking amazing.
So there we go. That's
I'm actually crying, guys. That was beautiful.
That was awesome.
Can you make it modular so that like different people join, different weeks, so you can just plug names in and out?
Oh sure. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Fuck yeah.
That's great. That is fantastic. I love how Zero's comment builds off of mine. That's amazing.
That's so cool.
So there you go, Gobi. That's I suggest that we start spicing the podcast. Podcast needs more zazz.
And saying it needs more zazz.
Zazz.
Just put it on the Zazz train to Zazztown.
Approximately 10% more zazz.
With jazz hands.
Oh my god.
All right.
And flair.
Zazz hands.
What have y'all been smoking? Why the fuck ain't you sharing it with the rest of us?
It's Massachusetts, bitch. We got the good stuff.
I think
All
that's
right.
amazing.
Yeah, don't ask how Niggle made those airdrops.
So yeah, that's the bit. All right, we can let's just do this. Frosty Pints podcast.
So
All right.
good.
Yeah.
What's first?
A giant virus killing everybody. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. That was a joke.
Wait. Can you
God.
say that one more time?
That's
Giant virus killing everyone. Frosty Pints podcast.
Now I am very certain that Dr. Niggle has folders with all of our names on it with various clips, and he was just trying to figure out which one is the clip to use for that.
The
All
clips
right,
are nothing. You should see the videos he has of me.
That's what Pornhub's for. Thank you.
No, that's his private stash.
Ooh.
It's true. There are drives full of drives that no one's ever seen.
They probably don't ever want to see.
No, probably not.
I'm sure someone would buy them.
Masami whips out her wallet.
God.
Well, I mean, if there was money in it.
Mine's already out. How much are we paying here?
Are you still talking about your wallet?
Thank you. No, DM me your Visa card info, please.
Wow. Don't forget the 3-digit number on back.
Right, just be safe. And your social security number while you're at it.
I'm also gonna
Oh,
need a
yeah,
photocopy of your
full
driver's license in case I start buying things from Hong Kong.
And there's your segue into
The coronavirus.
Yeah, good one.
That Mexican beer is killing everybody. Oh,
I totally
wait.
did that Yeah, I know. Corona beer.
So, did anybody see the what was it, the study that came out from this one place that every major news outlet has run with and said that people have decided to stop drinking Corona? 22% of people have decided to stop drinking Corona because of the coronavirus.
Well, I saw there was a poll that said 38% of Americans are avoiding Corona beer.
Yeah, I was watching, there's a YouTuber called Philly D who runs a thing. And
That's where I got the information from.
Oh, hey, someone else who's a beautiful bastard. But yeah, that's where I heard it from. We were just watching that today, and I was like, fucking A, people are dumb.
Listen, I'm not surprised. Look at not going to get political, not going to name any names, but just look at the state of things.
Yeah.
The fact that it's only 38% are that dumb, that's actually fairly good for America right now.
Now that's looking on the bright side.
But I also heard that 76% of all statistics are false.
Why not?
I've heard that 95% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
Well, 100% of the statistics read on the internet are true.
On the bright side, the facts are didn't they postpone one game conference and cancel another one because of this shit?
Yeah, GDC definitely cancelled.
Yeah. And
Or
PAX,
at least postponed because of all of the major gaming corporations have all pulled out.
I mean, hell, Warframe's delaying ticket sales opening for TennoCon just because they're not quite sure about travel situations for folks.
Yeah. Well, just look at the stock market.
You mean
Yeah.
down? Does your neck hurt?
Yeah.
I encourage
stocks
everybody to go to YouTube and Google Dr. Drew coronavirus because a couple days ago he was on a news program, like a morning talk show type deal, and he just blew up on the media in general for this false hysteria that they've been making about coronavirus. And he's absolutely right. It's not that big of a deal. It is. For 95% of the people who get it, it is basically a mild cold. And just like any other illness, like the flu or the cold or anything else, it can kill you if you're old as shit, if you're immunocompromised, if you're already likely to be fucking taken out by a stupid virus anyway. It's just new. It's getting clicks on the internet. So all these fucking news companies and websites and just they're blowing it way out of proportion.
I think Budweiser is at fault.
So here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to go with it. All of these anti-vaxxers have said that they can cure anything with essential oils. This is their chance.
Yeah, rub the oil on this one, bitch.
Fucking prove it.
I've seen those memes, and they are beautiful.
Karen and her
Actually-
fucking essential oils.
Wait, we covered this somewhere in Discord, but if you really want to fuck with your friends, first of all, Omega brought this one up. Tell them the next time that you have the flu, tell them that you had coronavirus, just because.
Oh, no, it's just the cold.
Yeah, common cold. There's a slight chance that your common cold may have been from the same family as the coronavirus.
Well, no, they
Second-
are.
No,
Colds,
no, they
colds
are not.
are a type of coronavirus.
Please
The
don't
common
make
cold
me.
is a type of coronavirus.
Please don't make me actually be serious on a podcast, because no, they're not. And this is, yes, I can hear you typing. Good. Second thing is, if you really want to fuck with your friends, you can tell them that the coronavirus is between 50 and 100 times as lethal as the flu. So there you go. That's how you instill false panic in people. Mortality rate for coronavirus stands at 2%.
So, about this podcast, I think we've officially killed it.
Podcast.
I think there was a vicious stab. I sense a vicious stab.
Yep. We're gonna move on now to.
Well, no,
Yes.
I just want come on. PAX East got delayed and everything, and PAX East was going to take place in Boston this year, so I'm a little bummed about that one.
Oh yeah, it's wait, that one just got delayed though.
Yeah, it wasn't the other one that got flat out canceled.
Well, so well, we'll move on anyway because this next topic is interesting. So GOG put out a new refund policy, and it's interesting, and they have asked people not to abuse it, and I totally understand that ask.
Would you like to explain what the new policy is?
You basically can get a refund up to 30 days after the purchase, even if
How
you
much-
launched it and played it.
How much playtime?
No
None.
restriction.
Really?
None. 30 days. Up to 30 days. You got 30 days of playing the game.
Also,
Well,
worth
yeah, it's
noting
bold.
that
DRM free, so you could transfer it to another computer and then get a
Yeah.
refund.
you could just make a backup of the game
Yeah.
and then refund it, or like half the games that you pay $60 for, you finish it in 15 hours of gameplay time because game campaigns are woefully short nowadays, and you can refund it in a week and a half.
It's
Done.
totally gonna get abused. People are such fucking dicks. Let's just be honest.
It's gonna be the one fuck stick that ruins it for everybody else. Yeah, and it's absolutely gonna happen.
It's gonna get abused. 100% gonna get
Well,
abused.
they are saying that they will refuse refunds in certain individual cases, which is probably if they see people abusing it.
Mm. They're gonna drop this. I bet
I
you.
suppose if people do it over and over.
Well, see, I think it's way too far in the other direction from what I consider Steam's overly restrictive policy, because Steam gives you, I think Steam's 2 weeks is fine, but the 2 total hours of playtime is way too short to know if you hate a game, because like half the games in the world, you spend half an hour in character creation. And then like someone like me who's left-handed, it takes me another 20 minutes just to rebind all the keys. So there, character creation and rebinding the keys, an hour is done. Then I only have an hour of playtime to decide if I like a game or not. So I think the 2-hour total playtime of Steam is far too little, but a full month is excessive.
Think they're gonna
I don't
arrive
know.
at a happy middle.
I like the 30 days if they also add like a 10-hour playtime limit. Maybe even
I don't
5
know.
hours.
I think that in this day and age, honestly, a refund policy isn't even necessary. Like,
yeah,
if
you were
you-
a sucker enough to buy it. Now you're stuck with
If-
it.
If you haven't done enough research on a game that you're gonna buy, there's so much abundance of research on games nowadays that if you're gonna buy a game that you're gonna be butthurt over, then I'm sorry, you fucking deserve to lose your money.
I'm trying to think if
Now
I've ever
there-
refunded a game on Steam.
There's another side to this story too that this
Honest-
article doesn't cover. The developers and publishers of game on the other end of the story aren't too happy with GOG either, because it feels like they could lose money this way. Thoughts?
They're probably thinking all the things that we're thinking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it's
to
kind
mention the
of
cases of accidental clicking, or the kid gets to, the thing and buys stuff, and the parents are like, well, fuck, we need to
Well,
return
in
this
that case,
before
I'm like, fuck you, be a better parent.
Yeah. If your kid accidentally buys The Sims 4 and all the DLC for $500 and something, yeah, you're a shitty parent.
Like, I've never had any sympathy for the stories you hear of, like, my kid spent $10,000 in microtransactions on a cell phone game. And it's like, well, you're a fucking bad parent. Like, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if I take the
parents out
if
there,
If I
and
went
people
in
don't
there-
want to do with care.
Yeah, that's true. She always asked for the fucking manager. But it's one of those things. Growing up, if I wanted to buy something in a video game, or if I wanted to buy a video game, guess what? I had to buy the video game myself.
Yeah, whatever happened to an allowance? Or, like, take out the trash, mow the lawn.
Yeah.
No, none
Exactly.
of that. By the way,
You get those
Zero,
little Visa gift cards.
Yeah, right. Zero, when you were a kid, you wanted to buy a video game, you actually had to go to a store and purchase a physical copy of a video game. So that was slightly easier.
Yeah, when Gobi was a kid, he had to go, like, to the punch card machine and punch out the holes and put it into the computer manually and compile it code by code.
dude. I had to build the computer
Wow.
first. All right, I had to solder all the components.
Oh my god, I'm only 2 years younger than you, Gobi.
Oh,
He had to walk-
okay. Yeah, so Gobi had to
I
solder the
think
computer
Linus is
together.
actually older than me.
Gobi had to solder the computer together, but Zero had Tinker Toys.
Fucking A, had to build that computer out of Lincoln Logs. We live in the South.
Okay, all right, fine. Fucking GS podcast. My God, I have jokes. Frosty Pints podcast.
Anyway, yeah, I
The
feel
rails.
I feel
Rails.
that a
There was
refund
no
policy
rails
needs to be
computer. Anyway, keep going.
no refunds allowed. I think that's the way it should go from now on. Buy the game, it's yours. But then add trading.
I
Or
did
at least-
refund the game.
Or just
I
do
could-
like the
I could
the
trade a game with
GameStop
a
model.
friend.
The GameStop model. You refund a game and like Steam gives you like 5% of the purchase price back.
Right. Or you can trade it with your friends. That would be cool.
Oh god, don't let Microsoft hear you say that. They'll go ape shit.
See, I
That
think
would-
that's a cool idea, but that wouldn't work with a DRM free kind of thing. Like
No,
GOG.
well, I mean, in Steam. Not
yeah,
GOG.
I think that would be cool.
GOG, not so much, but Steam. Like if I said, you know how you can trade in-game items and shit like that in Steam. So why couldn't I just trade my game with someone, or gift it to someone? I don't need this game anymore. I'm just going to gift it to you.
Well, that whole idea goes. That's a bigger point about all of media. Like we're past the day now where like, oh, I like this movie. I bought this DVD. Hey, I'm going to let my friend borrow this DVD and watch this movie. Nobody
Yeah.
has physical copies of any media anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, I bought it, so it's my digital license for it. So I should be allowed to.
But that's it. You didn't buy it. You bought a
Yeah.
license to play it.
Yeah, so I could pass that license on to someone else and say,
No, licenses are not transferable. It's in the terms of use.
I know, but it shouldn't be that way. That's what I'm saying. It needs to change. If that changed, I'd be down with it. I'm okay with no refunds, but I would be down with trading. Totally down with that.
I'm looking forward to you going to one of the major AAA publishers and telling them that it needs to change, and them just unstrapping the little covers over their nipples and starting to rub themselves and saying, "Tell us more about how you want change."
I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter.
Podcast.
I'm mailroom mail.
Oh, what?
What?
That sounded pretty funny.
That cut out.
I got like 3 syllables of that.
It sounded like that's what I got out of that.
Don't worry.
Uh-oh.
Just the mail boy.
Robot voice.
Yeah.
Mailroom mailbot. Mailroom mailboy?
Mailroom mail bottom?
Okay, she
Yes
says
to
yes.
what?
Yeah, all of it. Just generally yes.
Fuck my bottom. Button. Okay.
Yes to niggle is also the slogan on my presidential campaign.
You haven't dropped out yet like everyone else? Oh, sorry.
Hell no, I never know when to quit.
Mailroom mailboy will get to read that, and that's about it. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it'll never get past the mailroom, right?
The mailboy at the mailroom that'll get to see my strongly worded letter.
Speaking of strongly
I'll
worded,
address it to the president.
of what?
Thank you,
EA?
Karen.
Oh yes, the president of
EA?
Of everyone.
Masami, tell Kosa to stop downloading all that porn. You're not getting enough bandwidth for Discord.
I think this is a good time to move on to Borderlands 3. Gets its Steam March release date, which I believe it's the 12th or the 13th, and it will be cross-play with Epic Games Store. In case you're curious or want to play with somebody who bought it there, it's possible.
Finally, and fuck you, Epic.
Yeah, I can't say I'll be buying this once it hits Steam.
I mean, I'm thinking about it.
I am a huge Borderlands fan, so.
Are you gonna play? Then I'm definitely gonna get it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That turned around quickly.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, apparently they were at PAX East panel, and that's probably the only thing that happened before it got shut down.
Well, it looks interesting enough. I think with all of the updates that they've received, I think that the Steam gamers are probably in for a good treat.
See, I've been playing Borderlands forever. Borderlands is the original Diablo guns before Division did that.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of it forever. So I am super stoked.
Yeah, no, I'll jump in there with you. If you're gonna get it, then I'll get it.
Nice.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, another one that just came out that you've been playing a little bit is Wolcen Lords of Mayhem.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, my play experience started off badly. Well, first of all, I couldn't get into online at all for like 4 days, I think. So then I just decided to play offline. And I tried every day to get online, couldn't do it. Didn't really care though, because I was playing offline. And I think maybe because of that, I wasn't plagued with as many issues as other people were in the game. So that it was actually a pretty cool experience overall for me. I enjoyed the leveling experience, getting all the way to end game. The gameplay is fun. The story is good. I'd say if you had to compare the Diablo 3 launch to Wilson launch, they're probably on. I mean, I think Wilson probably did better. It's still buggy. There are some issues that I've experienced in the game, but nothing that I felt was like completely game breaking. And that may be just because I played offline. But I had a lot of fun. I mean, I think for a small studio, they did a good job. I mean, they probably should have done a lot more play testing. There was some serious game breaking bugs that you could literally just you could get 100% block and never ever take damage, ever. So you could go into the most hardest of content and just never get damage, and all sorts of shit like that. But I mean, overall, it was a fun ARPG. I definitely would say go ahead and play it if you're into ARPGs and isometric view. I think it's good.
I give them credit just for even offering an offline experience versus like Diablo 3, which forces you online.
Yeah, I mean, remember the Era 37? Like, how many people couldn't play at all?
Yeah, like as much as people were bitching that the online servers were broken, and
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they were broken because the game was just far more popular on launch than they expected, and it just overloaded
Right.
any of their capabilities, and they didn't have the right scaling server, infrastructure set up.
That was
But, like,
one reason, yes.
But the fact that they just even offer that offline play experience, I give them credit for that. And I've watched you play a couple times, Linus, streaming through Discord.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely interested. And, with the probably 5, 6, 12 years before Diablo 4 comes out, it might be, I think it looks like a pretty good option. I certainly think it looks better than PoE.
I don't know about that.
Well, I won't say
don't know
better.
about
I won't say better. I shouldn't say better. I'll say it looks like I would enjoy it more than I would enjoy PoE. I'll say it that way.
I think the skill tree system. There's a lot of really cool, unique systems in Wilson that is better. I say would be great in PoE and great in Diablo games. Like if PoE adopted some of the things that Wilson had, I'd be pretty excited for it. Actually, like one of the end game systems that they have is unlocking all these benefits that you get in the town, and the way it's done is pretty interesting and um, there's some pretty hefty costs and stuff associated with, and lots of bugs associated with the crafting at the moment. Apparently, I haven't gotten that far, to be honest, but the crafting side of it at least. But I hear that it's broken at the moment, but or it may be fixed. They've had several patches since I played, but yeah, it's a very interesting way of doing it, and I think if PoE adopted it, it would be welcomed by their community. There's lots of things that are interesting in the game altogether that I think work well. The little way that the passive tree system works with the sliding around is pretty interesting. You can get like pretty unique builds and stuff like that from that. I kind of like it.
Frosty Pints Podcast.
Now, I'm not sure if it's still
I
up, but
love it.
hey, we can
Love
hear
it.
you.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Omega pointed
Please.
out in the saloon earlier that Black Desert Online was free on Steam. Is that still going, or has that ended?
I think today is the last day, so by the time this podcast comes out, it probably won't be.
Right. All right. So since it was free, we all kind of started a character. I know Masami did, Mega did, and Leet. Why don't you guys talk about your
It is
experience?
no longer free,
Yeah, it's not.
but it's only $10.
Yeah, but it's been $10 for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that BDO is BDO. I've played it before. There's not much difference as far as I'm concerned from the original playthrough. I got further. It seems like the experience gain is a lot quicker in the new version. I don't know if there's something that changed, or if I joined an XP server, or I got some sort of buff, or I have no idea.
Oh, we're on the starter server, which is like 50% extra XP.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like after 30 days, you can't go onto this server anymore. And it's like if it's when you start a new character, you can go on this server, or if you haven't played in the last 30 days, you can go back on these servers. But then you have to go on to like the regular servers, which slow down your XP progression a little bit.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I definitely leveled a lot quicker on this server. I'll tell you that much.
It's great value for a free game. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'll probably get a good couple dozen hours out of it. I'm not gonna be playing this hardcore for a long time. It's fun. It's pretty. It's chaos. It seems like it's the kind of game that min-maxers would love
yeah,
and grinders would love to play long term. But it looks like a fun, multiplayer diversion. Like Leet and I played for a couple hours the other day. Had a good time. It's chaos. It's stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
going to become my everyday game by any
No.
means.
Yeah, no, me too.
Just worth throwing in there. It's because it's no longer a free game. Would you say it's also good value for a $10 game?
Honestly, yeah, sure. For $10, if you can get 20 hours out of a game for $10, I think that alone is a good value. And I would guess that there's easily 20 hours to play in this game before you could get tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Masami?
I haven't logged in as a different character, but I did do a trial like a couple weeks ago, and I did a character, logged in, and I was immediately assaulted by so much information, overwhelmed. Also, I may have been having some PTSD flashbacks to WoW. So I was waiting to time basically some time with other people whom I reasonably know. I mean, as much as anyone could do. Fairly certain I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's a good multiplayer experience with friends because you're sharing the chaos together. It's not something I will be putting a ton of hours in solo, probably. It's like, hey, we've got an hour and there's like 3 of us here in the Discord. Let's fuck around in BDO for a while.
Yep. I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Like
I'm not gonna play
I'm
on
a
my own.
total fan of
Because one thing I will say,
multiplayer games.
it is an easy game to jump into for half an hour.
Yeah.
For sure.
Frosty Pints Podcast.
The one thing you guys didn't mention was combat system.
Button mashing.
Yeah, well, I like the flow of it.
If you've
It
played
feels-
WoW, it's
If you've
felt better than
played,
ESO.
yeah,
And I
if
haven't
you've
played WoW,
it's
so. Yeah. I didn't lose any of my life.
Warcraft is fun.
Yeah, I like Warcraft.
I mean, not that I'm playing it right this second or anything, but
yeah,
it's
you totally
fun.
are. We can see that you are. We know you're playing WoW. It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
We won't judge you.
Last
Hey,
week on the
too
Division
hard.
2 podcast, when Gobi and his friends were going at it, I hopped into Warframe for half an hour and nobody noticed.
I give him credit. He did drop World of Warcraft, was it last night, to play with Loki, which was pretty cool. And it made Little Man's night.
Anything to play with that kid, dude. That kid is the man. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't like Loki, fight me. I will fight you on sight. Kid is the coolest kid on the face of the planet.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We actually we were playing Division 2, getting him leveled up, and it was good times.
Nice.
Yeah, speaking of the Division 2, I don't want to get into too much, but Warlords of New York released on PC today. It releases on Xbox and PS4 tomorrow.
Still waiting for Gobi to buy my copy for me.
I just did pick it up, a copy on the Xbox. I'm not sure why, but I did.
You mean you wasted money on an Xbox copy when you could have bought me a copy for the PC so that we can play? We are no
You already
longer
have
friends.
You already have a copy.
Not of Warlords.
Oh no! I just bought the regular the $3 version on Xbox. That was it. I didn't buy the Warlords one. No, I gotta buy that for Kiana yet. And yeah. But yeah. Anyway.
Podcast.
Podcast.
I don't want to get too much into it because I figure next week we'll talk a lot more after it's out on all consoles and people have had a week with it and they can it'll give us something to talk about then. League of Legends, new shooter game coming out.
Riot Games, you mean?
Right. Well, yeah, Riot Games. Okay, they're the developer behind League of Legends.
Yeah. It's not a League of Legends game.
No. I don't even think it's set in their universe.
I mean, they're drawing comparisons to Overwatch, but after watching the videos for it, yes, I get that there's abilities which kind of is the same as Overwatch's, but it looked a hell of a lot like Counter-Strike.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to be Counter-Strike, but with like Fortnite-style cartooniness.
Yeah, I mean that's the cartooniness and the abilities that you get in the game are very similar to Overwatch. I mean that's where I
Congratulations,
see.
Riot Games, for making the least creative game ever.
Exactly.
Let's steal elements from 3 popular games and call it something new and pretend like we're creative. And hope it sells.
Yeah, a 5v5 shooter. I mean, you get to buy stuff at the beginning of the round, and there's the similar to the plant mechanic that you have in Counter-Strike.
Here's the thing that's funny to me. The title of the article is, first of all, CNBC, sorry, is reporting on this, which is always hilarious when a major news outlet tries to report on gaming. The title is, the company behind League of Legends is taking on Activision Blizzard with a new shooter game. And then the picture that they have for their title looks like shit. You want to say they're taking on Blizzard when Blizzard has the maximum amount of polish in every game that is humanly possible? I mean, I'm glad that your game mechanics are, looking like they're kind of fun. I know that's important to some people when they play a game, but I am a graphics snob because PC Master Race, and this game looks like shit. So therefore, I'm done with it.
Well, yeah, the first paragraph says they're trying to take on titles from the likes of Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft, and then the next paragraph is like, it's going to be a new tactical shooter like Valve's Counter-Strike. So it's like they have, whoever's writing this game has no idea what the fuck they're doing. And hey, welcome to video game journalism nowadays.
Frosty Pints Podcast.
Yeah,
the art style is what threw me though.
I don't mind the art style because I enjoyed Overwatch's art style, and that's where I feel like it draws from. But it's definitely not as good as Overwatch. Overwatch is much more polished.
That screenshot in there looks terrible.
No, the game
it looks like it's in beta.
I mean, their reveal gameplay about it was all about how it's their FPS is like on point, and their net code is better than everyone else's, and they're going to get the best FPS that you can.
Okay. I'm just sort of
Riot's got the biggest dicks.
Most schmegma. And like the graphics literally look no better than like Unreal Tournament games.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Insurgency Sandstorm looks way better than this.
This looks like a game from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It looks worse than Counter-Strike, which has been out for how long now?
What is today?
God.
Monday?
Forever.
24 years.
So yeah, this looks, I mean, yes, obviously it is still very early, and I mean they fucking better improve over this, but still, this is not looking good right now.
It's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, the abilities look pathetic. If you
on
look,
the other hand, is this primarily being marketed in China?
I don't think so.
If so, they'll love it.
I have a feeling it's going to be like they're going to do it the same way they do League of Legends, is my guess.
Well,
I mean, League of Legends works, so I mean, I'm not sure why it works. I've never played it, but it works.
So you're gonna between rounds you're gonna
That's a
buy
good
weapons
thing.
with your social capital score.
Sure. Sounds exactly like Counter-Strike.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a nice dig at China.
Yep.
That was a beautiful thing in China. I
We're so gonna lose like 1 billion listeners, guys.
darker. Yeah.
It's fine.
That's okay. Give us some flair.
Oh, we'll get him back. It's okay. We just need to do one of those like behind the scenes podcasts again, where DrNiggle posts up the most obscene 2 hours that we can possibly freaking manage.
See, if we talk enough shit about China, it'll garner some controversy, and there's no such thing as bad news. So controversy will garner attention, and next thing you know, we'll have like the top podcast in gaming.
Wasn't it like 2 or 3? No, wasn't it like? Yeah, no, it was 2 months
bad
ago
press.
where I was chanting like Hong Kong #1 over and over again on a GS podcast.
Taiwan #1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taiwan #1.
Again, we were talking about Blizzard then too.
Frosty Pints podcast.
A professional would know
That's
exactly
never
what
gonna get old.
podcast
I
we're
love
talking
it.
about.
It's beautiful.
Just keeps on coming back, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, just like us getting banned in China.
Oh, that's a segue.
Finish.
Oh,
Yeah.
he did a segue.
That's
Yeah,
professional.
Go for it, buddy.
Professional broadcasting right there.
Yeah, so
Sounds
EA
like he went to school for this.
EA banned that Kurt Finich guy.
Yeah, I'm confused. Is it Kurt? Is that? I don't know what country he's from, and it's making me uncomfortable trying to read his name because it's either Kurt 0411 or Kurt 411.
I think it's Kurt Finich.
Kurt
Finich.
Finech. Yeah, see, that's the other
Finech.
thing. He could be Middle Eastern, and then it would be Finech, or he could be
He is
American and be Fenich.
He is Maltese. He is from Europe.
Ah, the case of the
Kurt
Maltese
something
FIFA player.
foreign.
That's a very
Kurt
small.
Finich. It's Kurt Finich.
They said Malta, not Scotland.
Who's going catatonic?
Malta is in Scotland.
Oh,
No,
I'm
it's
supposed to be paying
not.
attention.
Wow.
Are we
And
still in the
truth
podcast?
comes out.
Hold up. I didn't bring any boxing gloves, guys. All right.
I think
my
that
God,
means
they're
we
off
are
the
fully
rails.
unsupervised. We are unsupervised. We do not need an adult.
But yeah, this guy wasn't just banned from FIFA. He's been banned from every EA game and every EA service and everything related to EA.
Yep.
That's insane.
He was banned for his actions, which EA deemed as abrasive, harassing, and vulgar.
Yeah.
Which the article doesn't get into too much detail here, but I understand he was spitting on an EA or some EA scarf or product or something, talking shit
Yeah.
about the. He's been doing it for over a year. He's been talking shit about EA and just venting about how he hates EA developers, calling them cowards. How is it? Okay, that's not exactly vitriol, but all right, whatever.
Well, I think it's just the fact that it's been so repeated and gone on for so long. But also one thing that it does note in the article that probably should get more attention in the article, just rather than just a sentence at the end of a paragraph, is like some of his followers hacked EA's Twitter account or the Twitter accounts of several EA staff members. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty shitty. If you're like such a fucking troll that you've got your own troll army that they're also fucking with EA, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean,
Amen.
it's a corporation, and you kind of you always don't want to feel bad for them. But in this case, I kind of feel like the guy probably did deserve it.
Yeah, according to their official statement, he was specifically targeting EA developers and employees, and he was. It went beyond criticism. He was going straight on to personal attacks. which is kind of dickish.
Yeah, that's not cool. Not at all. Like,
I was
deter people from buying the shit. Don't. Yeah.
Or just fucking stop. It's been a year and he's still at it. Just fucking stop playing EA games.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I don't think it's any one thing that he said or did. I think it's the fact that it's been so continual that it's gone from being an asshole to being legitimate harassment. Like, once it continues over such a period of time,
Oh yeah.
that elevates it beyond just what you're saying. And yeah.
You know what? I kind of love the screenshot that they chose to accompany this article. Don't you think it looks like an absolute toss that is in the picture? So you actually think that that's Kurt? So you come at me, bro.
The guy air thrusting.
Yeah. Come
Look
at
at my
me, bro.
balls. Look at him.
Yeah. Anyway, I found that funny, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this guy seems to be a total shithead and probably deserves it. But yeah, we were talking a little bit before the podcast. Like, what do you think of just the concept of an entire publisher banning an individual from their entire library of games, all of their services? Do you think that's appropriate in general, just conceptually?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a private company. They can
Absolutely.
do whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, it's the whole. Oh well, YouTube. It boils down to the same thing as the freedom of speech thing. Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence. He made a stupid decision to do some stupid shit against a company, a private company. Guess what? Said private company can issue a consequence, and they did.
I don't know what the Maltese Constitution says. We're approaching this as America, and in America we have freedom of speech and First Amendment and all the rest of that. But freedom of speech does not apply to private companies. Private companies can do whatever the fuck they want. They can censor you. They can refuse to serve gay people. They can do pretty much anything because they are a private company. So if EA wants to blanket ban somebody for behavior that they don't think is acceptable, they can. So conceptually, yeah, I don't object to this. It's a little harsh, even though the guy is an asshole.
The EU, they have even fewer protections on free speech. There are plenty of places in the EU where it's a crime to just say certain things that aren't even threats, or, like in the US, you can't make threats of violence or things like that. That's not protected speech. But in the EU, like, hate speech is very illegal in a lot of contexts and situations.
So what's this info you got on Steam? Apparently you were digging into Subnautica. I think we were talking about it last week or something, or the week before.
Yeah. Last week's podcast we were talking about Subnautica. What's the one called? Frozen, whatever the new
Frozen Deep.
Yeah, whatever the new Subnautica is. But we were also talking about how the multiplayer mod for the original Subnautica. Well, Doc and I were talking about playing this. I know Leetness said he might jump in too. So I went digging, and Doc and I were looking into it today. The mod is now broken because of an update in December to Subnautica. And there was a workaround where you could downgrade a Steam game. And it involved going into the Steam console and actually basically telling it to download an old version of the game from the Steam servers that wasn't necessarily on the list. Because, you can go into a game's properties and go to the beta tabs and pick different betas if the game developer offers them. Well, there was a way that you could actually go back to any version of the game that you wanted to if you knew how to do it. Well, Steam recently, and by recently I mean in February, like a couple updates ago, like 2 weeks ago, they removed the ability for players to do that. And, for me to be complaining about it because I want to play Subnautica multiplayer, whatever, that's a pretty small group of people. But this affects a lot of people for a lot of games because, any game that's heavily moddable, when a new version drops, a lot of mods get broken, and now they've taken away the one workaround that people have to go back to an old version of a game. And it's, a lot of people are seeing this as an attack on the modding community, on players who want to, get into that. And I think it's kind of shitty. The biggest community that I saw complaining about it was the Beat Saber community, because right when that happened, they were just coming off of a new version, and a lot of people in the community were using this workaround so that they could still use the mods while they were waiting for mods to get updated. And now that they're preventing you from doing that, I do think that's kind of shitty, and I don't really understand the logic behind preventing that. And Steam hasn't really given any reasons why they did it. And I actually went on to, there's a Discord server for the Subnautica multiplayer mod, and I was asking about it, and I was talking to actually talked with the admin of the server, and he says the developers of the mod, who are, I will add, the mod is approved and supported unofficially by the developers of Subnautica. The mod developers went to Steam and asked them, and they refused to tell them any reason why, give any reason for why they removed this functionality.
Just weird.
So basically, we're not going to
what?
We're not going to be able to play the multiplayer then?
Well, there is a workaround that the mod creators have developed. There is they've created a script that allows you to access the Steam servers to download this old, because these old versions still exist on the Steam servers. Steam removed the ability for you as an end user to go into the console through Steam and download it. But they created a script that lets you access the old version through your computer's command line interface.
I wonder
Very
if
clever.
Epic allows that, though. Because that's where I have it.
Currently, the mod is broken for Epic completely, so there is no workaround for Epic right now. But the developers are working on an updated version of the mod, so it's soon trademark that we're waiting on that to drop. But it's just shitty that Steam decides that, hey, this game that I paid for, I can't play an old version if I want to.
Which is weird because they usually offer betas under properties in games. You can usually go to like local versions or whatever it is and downgrade to previous versions of a lot of games. Space Engineers, RimWorld, to name two that I've actually done.
Well, like I was saying, I'm looking at the RimWorld right now. There are a bunch of RimWorld betas, and even you can go back into alphas before betas, before the public. So it's up to the developers. So right now, it's the developers could choose what versions they make available through just the basic properties tab. It then used to be that if you wanted to play something that the developers didn't have readily available, you could do it through the console yourself if you had the know-how.
Wait, so should we be directing hate at the publisher of Subnautica?
I think not necessarily hate, because I don't blame them for doing that, but I would not be opposed to the community of gamers who play this, who want to play multiplayer, to speak out to them and say, hey, just ask them, hey, can you make the older version available through Steam betas so that we could do this if we wanted to? I think that would be cool. Honestly, I think it's most likely that Steam made this decision pretty unilaterally. And I doubt Steam asked the thousands of developers that have games available on Steam if they wanted to prevent people from downloading old versions. So I think that's more an issue of, like, if the community went to the Subnautica devs and said, hey, can you guys make this available? And they heard the voice of the community wanting that, then it would be up to them to enable it. So yeah, I don't blame them for not having it available. I just think conceptually, in general, it's shitty that Steam is deciding that players can't access previous versions of games that we've bought.
It's basically the theory of older versions are either prone to bugs or they're trying to look out for the best interests of the users without actually asking the users, because that happens all.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just patently false because old versions of the game are often more stable with less features. And
Yeah.
I think it's up to each individual player whether they want to prioritize stability or features when a new update comes out, when they might rather enjoy the stable version and wait for the new features to get cleaned up and fixed before they switch over. And we just went through this with RimWorld because, like we talked about a couple episodes ago, RimWorld just had a major update. All kinds of mods got broken. There's still mods that are, getting updated and fixed. And thankfully, the RimWorld devs are like the coolest devs I've ever fucking played a game from, and they offer betas going back 3 years.
Yeah, mine is actually set to 1.0 right now because I was in the middle of a game and I didn't want to bust it. So that was nice of them.
Yeah, there are currently 10 versions of RimWorld available through Steam right now.
And each one is special in its own way.
Is it
Podcast.
It's
So,
that time.
So, based on your love of RimWorld, would you say that that would be your favorite game universe to live in? Oh my god, my yeah,
What?
nothing.
The
He had
roundtable
it,
question
and he
is,
just
what
fucking
is your...
tanks.
Linus just looked down. He's like, "Oh God, my penis is out."
So you had a great segue earlier. This one was a little rough.
Okay.
The roundtable question is, if you could live in a game universe, which would you live in? I think RimWorld would be fun to live in.
Oh,
I either
God,
would
no.
die immediately, or I could become a drug kingpin, or I could become a slaver and sell the organs of my captured prisoners on the black market. Or I could, I would go for that. Yeah. You die horribly in the first 10 minutes to a squirrel, or live to be king of a little backwater planet on the edge of space. Sounds great to me. Either option.
Nice. Niggle?
Honey Pop.
What?
The Honey Pop.
I
would
don't-
live
I
in
don't
the Honey
think
Pop
I
universe.
don't think that counts.
It totally counts. Fuck you,
Totally
it counts.
Frosty
I'm
Pints
not familiar with that one.
Podcast.
Dr. Diggle wants to live in a world filled with anime titties and puzzles.
That makes
He's
sense.
fully allowed to do that.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised it's not dead or alive. What?
No, yeah, my universe would be very boring, and it would be full of anime titties.
How about you, Masami? What's your ideal game universe to live in?
Honestly, I would actually I like if we're going for video game universes, the only one I could think of offhand that I would actually find interesting or amusing is The Witcher, and I would be from Temeria because fuck Nilfgaard. I'm a role player, damn it. I've got
was-
this all figured out.
That was on my list actually. If I was thinking of that one as an option, the Witcher universe.
Yes, I've played the first 2 games, and it's pejoratively in Temeria when it's still a thing. As anyone who's played the 3rd game knows. So yeah.
I'd say it's top 5 for me. It's one of my top 5.
How much freedom do we have being dropped off in this world? Are we just dropped off somewhere randomly and we don't have any choice, or can we be from a certain area, or?
I just
I
went and made
guess-
that decision for myself. I'd be a Temerian noblewoman if I could.
I guess you could pick where you.
No,
But
I would say that your lot in life would be where you start as the character in the game.
Sweet, Geralt of Rivia, awesome.
I would have okay, yeah, fine. Then in Honey Pop, I would already have delivered all of the panties to the fairy, and I would have found. I would have found the special item on the beach, and the alien girl would be all over me.
And I get the clip about hentai?
Yeah.
But see, now that we have this, that
my
that could be Doc's new intro clip. That I would live in the world of cutie pie. There we go. It should be an ever evolving intro, I think.
So literally, we all the clips have to do something with hentai. That's official.
Let's not back ourselves into corners here. Also, Omega, we need Omega to say something a little bit more obscene than just talking about Steven Tyler's mouth, even though that was a very... taken out of context, that was a very erotic rant that he went on.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, I'm happy with that quote. I'm sure we could do better at some point.
What about you, Zero?
He's
Oh,
dick
God.
deep in WoW.
Wake up, man. Wake
Destiny.
I've got a no, hell no. I do not want to be a space wizard. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, speaking of, I'm glad that's not when any of you brought up Warframe. Hey, I'm the one who brought up Warframe for the first time this week.
Oh my god.
Hey!
So, Fallout New Vegas, specifically.
Nice.
It would have to be New Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Good choice.
just a lawless wasteland. Just take shit out, man. That's what you do.
I was kind of thinking of that one too. I like the Wasteland. I was actually thinking Wasteland, but
I mean, I could also live in Boston. Just be a guard in. I could see myself as a guard in Diamond City. That would work.
I'm trying to imagine Zero with a Boston accent.
hey, I just go park the car in the yard.
oh gosh.
And I've just offended every person from Boston. We just lost that viewership.
That was the worst fucking
Doc
Boston
is
accent I've ever had in my
disgusting.
life.
Was it
Fucking-
wicked awesome?
No, it wasn't wicked awesome, you fucking muff dumpster.
All right, go. What's yours?
Deus Ex.
Okay.
Frosty Pints podcast.
Yep. Good expansion on that one.
I'm good. I think mine pretty much sums it up.
All right, Leetness. What
Leetness?
is your top one?
Yeah, Linus.
Mine is a two-parter.
Ooh, extra
Yeah.
long.
So
Oh, editing
Oh
note.
God, yes. That is her new line.
I think we know her new intro quote.
Go for it.
okay. So first would be Red Dead Redemption because it seems cool to live in a Western world.
Why would
you
you
get
want to live
your
in a world?
Brokeback Mountain fantasies?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fine. There's that. Why would you want to live in
I
a
get
world
to ride my-
pre-penicillin?
I mean, why not?
Yeah, you know what? If you
You need
can't
to come
live...
out and visit Deadwood.
YOLO,
You
man.
just drink
YOLO.
your problems away. Either shoot
Deadwood
or
is Deadwood is
shoot
what you
or drink
get
your
after you
problems
get syphilis.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
No fucking penicillin, no indoor plumbing.
And
Who
then
doesn't like
second-
shitting in a bucket outside in the cold every night?
You just kiss antibiotics and dentistry goodbye.
That's all right.
This
And
is
then,
America. Who can afford dentistry?
Well, let me then say my other option would be World of Goo.
What?
That's a fine choice.
World of Goo.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a game.
Again, going back to his Brokeback Mountain fantasies.
Well, at least no one said the penis game.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Genital
Genital
jousting.
jousting. Yeah, we could live in genital jousting. That'd be great.
Nah, y'all can live in genital jousting, and I'll be watching.
I don't know if I'd want to be in the cactus one or the one with the needles.
Hey, don't kink shame
Yeah.
me.
The cactus and the
Oh.
needles one, those two hurt every single time I do that.
I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it, Omega. I'm just saying that I really don't.
There's nothing wrong with a little cock and ball torture.
Ooh, we know what someone's kink is.
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. Fuck a lemon, then rub a cactus on your dick.
It's amazing. If only because I had Disco Stick quoted at me earlier.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that is an old meme. That is an old format meme.
Well, there you go. World of Goo. We'll go there.
Yeah, World of Goo, currently $15 on Steam.
There we go. So for only $50, we could all go experience Leetness's fantasy world.
It'll be glorious. And gooey.
It's sticky.
And we can all post screenshots.
It's a fun game if you've never played it.
It's a puzzle game.
It is. It's puzzling.
Yeah, it is a good game. It's gooey.
Gooey, gooey goodness.
Ew, it's so sticky.
No.
Best things in
All
life
right.
are sticky.
So, do we have outro music?
No, fuck it. Just no.
No.
We're just
No.
stopping.
Time to wrap this one up.
All right.
Clearly, Doc
Yeah.
blew his
Yeah.
load on the intro.
We're just done. I was very
Thank you guys
drunk
all
when I
for
made that.
listening.
And
Thank you all for joining. Peace.
Frosty Pints Podcast.
penis.
Vagina.
Oh, that was a good one.